Well, I want to bring in Western Hills coach Armand Tatum. Thanks, coach, for joining us today. And
Thanks for the invite.
how's your week going?
It's been eventful. The first week of acclimation and putting pads on and everything, getting the kids out there and just getting back into a full swing of things.
And you want to mention to us the players that you brought today?
I have Ibrahim Sidibe. He's our senior wide receiver and linebacker. Sorry. And Omar Beckley. He is our junior quarterback.
Gotcha. And coach, just tell us maybe a little bit a synopsis about your team right now. 5-3 record in 2020. You ended the season with 5 consecutive wins.
Yes, sir.
Including 2 shutouts over Woodward and Gamble Montessori. How have you kind of carried that momentum into the offseason and into this spring and summer?
Honestly and truly, it's a completely new team. We were young last year, graduated a couple key pieces, and we're young again. So we're very freshman and sophomore heavy. There's a few seniors in the senior class, a few more juniors, but the majority of our guys is going to be their first time under Friday Night Lights. So sort of finding our identity all over again is what we were trying to do in June and July. Of course, we weren't in full go yet, so we're sort of tinkering with this, tinkering with that, see what works, plug this guy in here and there. But for the most part, the guys are locked in. They're committed. Unfortunately, during COVID, we couldn't get into our weight room because it was under construction for that year. So we worked out on the field with plates, and they loved that last summer.
The old plate pushes?
Plate pushes, body weight, core work. Almost 100 degrees out there with 25, 45-pound plates, just getting after it. But right now, we're the strongest we've been, coming off of that. So.
What was it like to have the unlimited practice days? I know that was the case last year and same thing this year, but I'm just kind of curious. I've heard mixed reviews from coaches around the area, but curious your perspective on that.
We purposely, as a coaching staff, did not want to tax our guys out. So we still did our 3 days a week, understanding that a lot of our kids work, to help support their families. So we kept it almost like we normally would. The only thing we did differently was we did purposely start to install some things on offense and defense versus it being just skill work like in previous years where it's just the 10 days. So that's the biggest difference, just being able to install some things slowly.
You talked about it being some guys on your team's first year under the Friday Night Lights. For those guys that it is their first experience with that, when you look back to maybe your first time playing or your first time coaching under the lights or your players in their first time, what is it like to walk out there, step out onto the field, walk out under the lights for the first time ever?
I mean, whether it was as a player for myself or as a first-time head coach, everyone has different sorts of butterflies, and sort of being lost in the moment. It's just taking everything in, and that opening kickoff, everything's flying by you, and it's almost you're going slow motion at times where everything else is going 1,000 miles an hour until you sort of settle in and get into your groove and go. So for a lot of our guys, we try to purposely stress them during practice, so give them different scenarios. Hey, we're down by this amount. We have this amount of time on the clock. We're going to do. Or we're down, or we got backed up. So that way, when it happens in the game, it's not completely foreign to them. So we try to do our best as a coaching staff to stress them during practice, and I think we do a pretty decent job of that.
Omar, what's that been like for you, that simulation?
It's pretty stressful. Like, definitely last year was my first year, so I had to get used to it, and everything was going so fast, and it was just like I gotta learn it now, or it's just when game comes, it's gonna be even harder. So, our team just come together. We team come together. We just do it and get it done.
How do you think you've improved personally just from a year ago?
I feel like I improved a lot. Like now, in those situations, everything slowed down. It's not as fast as it was when I first started. Slow down. Everybody know what they doing more, and it just felt easier and slower now.
Ibrahim, what's it like to catch a pass from Omar?
It's fun. It's fun. He likes to throw the ball in many different places, so I like them.
How do you think you've improved from a year ago? I know you obviously play on the defensive side of the ball as well.
I got way stronger from last year. Staying locked in, staying in the weight room, staying on the field, just trying to get better every day. Just watch your film more and everything. So.
Coach,
Go
Go
ahead. Caleb.
ahead. You go ahead.
I was going to say, Coach, what have you seen from these two guys as far as their improvement and just the way that they've led the team so far?
Leadership. Both of them last year, being their first year with varsity football. I tell Omar on a semi-regular basis that the team really rallied behind him last year. Had a situation in which Saturday morning, getting ready for a game, he got a phone call that a grandmother just passed. And we were sort of debating on what we're going to do. Starting quarterback, let's get him back home somehow, get with his family. Who's going to feel? And this is all like right before the game, like right after team meal. We're trying to figure all this stuff out. I didn't even know Omar hosted his own team meeting. While we're trying to figure things out, explain to the team what was going on, and they needed their support, and they rallied behind him, and that was our first win last season. So just the guts that he showed to go out there, perform. Ibrahim has stepped up as a leader. Like I say, he's missed very few days in the weight room, directing traffic. So if nothing else, just the leadership that these two guys have poured into the program, the key pieces that we missed from last year's senior class were leaders. So the two of them have definitely stepped up to fill those shoes to be leaders in our program.
Coach, do you remember what game this was last year?
Gamble game, yes, sir.
It took him 3 seconds. The pass wasn't even thrown yet, and he knew exactly what game that was. I got some more video to show you here, too, toward the end, if it'll pull up. But I just want you to, right there.
Yes, sir. The championship, yes, sir.
What is it like to look back at that? You see your interview right there. But what is it like to look back at those images and that night, and how special was that for you guys?
Just the fact that this time last year, we had no idea if we were going to play or not. Cincinnati Public had not released us to play. So these kids were literally coming to practice every day, like I said, working out on the turf with plates, body weight, and not knowing if they were going to play or not. So as a coach, I'm just praying for 5 games. I'm praying for something to give to the kids, if nothing else, just to reward them for their dedication, to the program, and for it all to culminate to that moment and win that CPS tournament. That was huge for the kids. Just to see the smiles on their faces and to know that their labor was not in vain. Their commitment, their deposits they made. We talk about making deposits into accounts. We talked to them about you can't go to a bank and make a withdrawal. You never made a deposit. No, that's robbery. So the kids kept depositing, and they bought into what we were trying to teach them. So to have that moment, it was great.
Coach, I keep hearing that similar common theme about how fully vested you are into this program, into this high school. Talk to a lot of coaches. We interview a lot of coaches and athletic directors, and you hear about what the student athletes receive from their coach or from their athletic director. But oftentimes, I like to ask the coach, what do you receive from your student athletes? Because sometimes it's just as much, if not more, in terms of what you learn about life.
Oh, absolutely. I call it's a blessing for me because they're doing life with me and with my staff. So they're sharing their lives. This is not just X's and O's. This is not just show up, blow a whistle, run a lap, run this play. A lot of my players, I know what they're going through and what they're dealing with and life even after. There are several guys on staff right now that I've coached. So it's cyclical. To where I have opportunities to pour into young men, and honestly and truly, they pour back into me. Again, to being able to open up and talk to us and allow us to help them, guide and or motivate them and navigate them through life, and to manhood. So just being able to be a part of their lives, I got to tell them all the time, those are our championship rings. When they go off and they go on to college, graduate from college, they may have a job doing HVAC or they're a plumber. They're being productive men in society. Those are our championship rings.
Guys, a quick question for you guys. You all and Coach talked about doing these, the plate workouts, the body weight workouts and stuff like that. I want to know what the worst plate type of workout that you all did was. What was your least favorite plate exercise of all of it? You can do a lot of them. There's a lot of Coach. You can do a lot of them, can't you? You probably came up with every one you possibly could.
It was probably when we had to lay on our back, had the plate over our head, and had to do like 50 to 100 reps up and down.
Your arms just die at some
Probably
point.
the
don't
worst
they?
one.
What's your least favorite?
Mine is probably speed skaters with the plates.
Speed skaters.
Like side to side.
Okay, yeah. Okay, who between the two of you can push a plate farther and faster?
Probably me. Probably me.
I could probably do it faster, but he might be able to push it farther.
I got you.
That's our next competition, maybe for next year's
Yeah,
podcast.
for me. You mean for me and you? We'll,
Don't look over here. You know that. Obviously, Western Hills opens the season August 20th against visiting CHCA. You're at Deer Park after that. But, Coach, let's maybe talk about a few other players before we get to our trivia here, maybe on offense and defense. Who are some other players that we should look for this year?
Obviously, looking for these two guys. We have Darrell Davis. He's our starting center and one of our defensive linemen. Darrell will be a 3-year starter as a junior, and also long snaps. Keep an eye on him. Rasan Hutchinson started last year as a freshman at slot and backup quarterback this year. He's our slot and one of our safeties. Just pure speed. Anthony Sutherland, wide receiver and corner, long, has a nose for the football, very football savvy. Again, a fast guy. Mitchell Whitson, he's an anchor for us. He's a utility guy, Swiss Army knife. Wherever we need him to do, he can do it. Right now, he's backup quarterback. He's a running back. He can play tight end if we need to play tight end or wing. He plays linebacker. Special teams. He understands the game of football, so that helps us out a lot. Tatum Maxbury, Teosa Sherman, both sophomores, strong as oxes, just big, strong kids coming on. They're both playing offensive and defensive line. So we have a lot of guys who are young. These scrimmages will pay dividends to give them some experience going into a team like CHCA.
Mike, it always impresses me when coaches reel off the entire offensive depth chart without even looking at it. He's just not looking at anything, and he reels off the entire depth chart. For me, I could be sitting in a room with 11 guys in front of me, and I'd be like, "What's his name again?" He's reeling off the whole depth chart without even
You
looking
can tell
at
how
it.
much it means to him, obviously. What's your scrimmage schedule like, Coach?
Say it again.
Scrimmage schedule like for the Mustangs?
So we have a controlled scrimmage on Monday with Clark.
Okay.
That'll be at home. And then Holmes High School from Kentucky, they're coming up on the 13th for our game prep scrimmage.
Okay, gotcha. Great. Well, I think it's that time, Caleb. Another trivia question.
Y'all ready for some
in
trivia?
the works.
Y'all been studying up on
You're Mr. Trivia.
some elder trivia. Hope you got your elder football history book ready to go here. Which NFC East team did Elder graduate Kyle Rudolph sign with this offseason after spending 10 years with the Minnesota Vikings? He graduated from Elder in 2008. Kyle Rudolph signed with this NFC East team this offseason. He spent 10 years with the Vikings. Then he went to either the Cowboys, the Eagles, or the Giants. Which team is he with now? The Cowboys, the Eagles, or the Giants?
The Eagles.
I'm going with Eagles.
Both going Eagles? Sure about that?
Yes, sir.
You are not right on that. He went to the New York Giants. Should we give him some free chicken anyway? Let's.
At least they're east. East, right?
There you go. Go get you some chicken sandwich or some chicken nuggets or a
Official
grilled
gift
chicken
card
sandwich.
there.
Probably Nuggets knowing kids.
What'd you say?
Probably Nuggets knowing them kids.
Give one to your athletic director, Philip O'Neill, too. Or gave an extra one there. So,
Okay, it may make it back to him. We'll see.
Or you can just go use them right now.
Right.
Coach, really appreciate your time and perspective. Thanks for joining us today, and all the best of
Sure.
luck to the Mustangs this season.
Thank you all, and thanks to Chick-fil-A also. Appreciate you all. Thank
Good
you.
luck,
Thank you.
guys. Yeah.
Appreciate it.